Hey folks, welcome to 78th Street Studios, third Friday in October. So glad to welcome you back, and if you don't mind, because there's plenty of space around me tonight, all our guests are out there enjoying the art, I'm going to take this carefully off and place it aside. Keep it handy in case someone runs up and has to hug me, but we have a lot of friends and family here tonight. It's really a great evening. We actually are at our modified capacity. We probably had around 400 guests here tonight, which was roughly 10% of the actual total capacity of 78th Street Studios, which, as you know, spans 4 floors and 2 city blocks at 170,000 square feet. Enough details. We're glad to have you here tonight. We know that a lot of folks would rather enjoy the event and the arts from the comfort of their home at this time, but we're hoping beyond hope to see you soon live and in person. But we're glad to be able to share this with you tonight, and so sorry we're running a little bit late at this point, but hope you stuck around and hope you're tuning in. So we, as you know, are following all the state guidelines. We're keeping track of things that are going on, and we're just doing the best we can to keep all of our guests and all of our artists safe every month. And now we're basically kicking off the holiday season, so it's really a critical time. We're glad that you're here, glad you're paying attention, and hope that you're going to buy local. These artists work hard all year, every day, and we want you to be around to enjoy their hard work. So, without further ado, we're going to head out the front door to our dock garden area, which is curated by Fresh Eggs Landscape Design here in the ramp level. And we're going to pop into KINK Contemporary, who's showing an absolutely cool exhibit of COVID-inspired quarantined activity quilts created by Will Grimm. Sorry.
Hey everybody, it's Will Grimm here in KINK Contemporary. You are looking at my quilt show known as Lockdown, which features all of the quilts I have made during Ohio's stay-at-home order to kind of process what exactly we are all dealing with.
Here you come. Hi. Hello.
Well, hi there. Hi, welcome to Third Friday. My name's Bruce Buchanan, and I've got a stained glass studio on the first floor of 78th Street Studios, Studio 108. I do a lot of commission work and repair and restoration. Lately, there's been an awful lot of repair work for houses in Lakewood and Cleveland Heights and near West Side. A lot of these century homes have leaded glass windows that haven't had any attention for 100 years and need a little bit. So I'll, repair broken pieces, broken solder joints, kind of get them back up to snuff. And here's a window actually from a house in Lakewood that it's in pretty decent shape. I had to fix up a couple solder joints, but all of the putty has been dried out and come out. So basically the window's not airtight or anything, and as the putty's gone, it's a weaker window, so it starts to wobble and all that. So I'm just going back in and thumbing in putty to kind of refresh this window. It's like grouting tile, kind of. And when I'm done, this thing's going to be spick and span, look like brand new. And basically, I'm working my way through their house, so window at a time, getting them back up to par. So if you've got a repair project or some leaded glass that needs some work, you can give me a call, 440-225-2937, or stop in and see me at Bruce Buchanan Design.
Welcome to Third Friday, or welcome back as the case may be. My name is Dawn Tekler, and this is my gallery, Dawn Tekler Studio. Today I wanted to show you guys some pieces that I pulled out of the archives. These were done back in 2014, I believe. And it was how I originally started working with encaustic wax. I'm an avid gardener, so these pieces are dried hydrangea petals, and then I would dip them in the wax, layer them so they kind of take on this pattern like a scale, like a snake, if you will. And then I went back over it and added more wax and a little bit of color. I decided to get them framed recently because yeah, I don't know. I saw them and I really liked them and I wanted to share them with you. So they are now made available to you. So if you see them at Third Friday, these are the only ones that you can't touch with wax. Obviously the other pieces you can touch. It's part of the fun of the encaustic wax, but these I prefer that you not because they are a little bit more delicate. So yeah, hope you enjoy them. Here's another piece I wanted to focus on today and show you guys. This piece was inspired by the still mills and looking at the telephone lines and the patterns that they create when you look up at them in the sky, juxtaposed to the gradient of the sunset or sunrise, as the case may be. Again, the encaustic wax is something that you can touch. It's 100% archival. It has been around since between 100 and 300 AD, and it melts at 175. Any of these pieces, if you'd like to know any more information about them, please contact me at dawn.tekler@gmail.com, or feel free to follow the link on the website and I'll be in touch. Thank you. Have a good one.
Hi everybody, this is Scott Kraniak. Welcome to GalleryPlus. Tonight is the opening of my exhibit, Minutia of Humanity Shall Overcome the Beast. In February of 2019, in order to escape our current political climate and our current president, I traveled to Ecuador. And I was, besides the nature and the food and the art, I was incredibly moved at how kind and humble and nice and warm the Ecuadorian people were. Despite being in a poor country, when meeting these people and feeling their warmth and kindness and their strong moral fiber when compared to our current president, that really highlighted huge differences in character and morals, and that triggered this idea of having an exhibit of both Ecuadorian people and our current president, done in different styles to represent their different morals and their different values and their different levels of kindness and humanness. The Ecuadorian portraits to represent their kindness, to represent just how warm they were. I rendered their portraits with a lot of detail in my typical colored pencil Van Gogh-ish style with a lot of detail to represent just what a beautiful people they were. Now, contrasting to that, to represent our current president in order to kind of emulate his childish and immature demeanor and behavior and words and actions, I did these pieces very kind of rough, kind of fast, and I used magic marker, so it kind of looks like a child did to represent his childish behavior and everything else. And those pieces are behind a wall I constructed, and this is also to kind of sort of separate those pieces from the rest of the exhibit, and also to try to censor him, to try to hold back his opinions and thoughts to represent what he's trying to do to other people, people that disagree with him, his censoring of anybody that tries to stand in his way or even simply disagrees with him. So that's the meaning of the wall, to try to give him a taste of his own medicine. On this trip to Ecuador, one of the places I stayed at was this reserve called the Maki Pacuna Reserve, and it's just a wonderful place, and I'm always trying to do my part to help the environment. And what I thought to do for this exhibit is that the sales of any original pieces or prints or stickers that I have made up, all profits will go to this reserve. It's one of the top 5 most biodiverse places on the planet. So, I mean, if we don't protect areas like those, I mean, I could go on and on about the destruction of the planet, and we really need to protect places like these.
Hi, I'm Eileen Dorsey, and welcome to my studio. I am at the 78th Street Studios on the first floor, which is right next to the kitchen, if you're familiar with that area. And I have some very exciting news. I just won Best Artists of 2020 by the readers of Cleveland Magazine. Woo! So thank you everyone that voted. I'm super excited. So if you are not familiar with my work though, I create kind of colorful landscape paintings, mostly in oil. Sometimes I'm doing abstract ones in acrylic. You can kind of see some of the oil paintings I have over here, mostly depicting forest scenes, but I kind of dabble in all sorts of styles. I also create large-scale murals for home, a office, an exterior portion. I've done a few around town, including one that's in the Gordon Square Arts District, right on the Stockyard Meats building. So go check that out. It was a collaborative project with Ish Muhammad, who is a Chicago-based artist. So it was just a lot of fun. And it was sponsored by Graffiti Heart. So if you don't know who that is, you should check out that nonprofit because they are doing some really great things in the city here. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy your time here at on Third Friday, and make sure to visit my website at eileendorsey.com. I have a little online store there. If you find the link on top, you'll be able to see what I am offering for sale. But you can also see me online every week. I do a little segment on Facebook and on Instagram called What's on the Easel Wednesday, where I kind of show you what's on the easel, what I'm working on. So it's kind of fun if you like keeping up with what I'm working on. So I hope you guys have fun, and I'll see you in Suite 105, which is my space. So take it easy, have a good one. Bye-bye.
Hi, welcome to ARTneo. Thank you for joining us tonight. This is the opening of Oppositions, the Secessionists versus the Cleveland Society of Artists. And this exhibition really shows the talent and the vigor of early Cleveland School artists and the battle of ideas between modernism and traditional art. Works in this exhibition are from ARTneo's permanent collection and range from 1890 to about 1930. There are 8 artists representing the Secessionists, including Henry Keller, William Summer, Abel Warshawski, and May Ames, as well as 8 artists from the Cleveland Society of Artists, including George Adamite, Frank Wilcox, Frederick Gottwald, and Grace Kelly. The exhibition pairs these artists side by side so that you can actually see a compare and contrast in stylistic form. Even when Cleveland Society of Artists decide to venture into Impressionism, you can tell the differences between the Secessionists' work, who fully embraced new modern ideas, as well as combining different traditions in modernism into one single work. As you enter the show, you're greeted with 2 works. The first, by Henry Keller, called William Lee Farm in Berlin Heights from 1915, and a painting by George Adamite, A Country Road in Provincetown, 1923. Henry Keller, known as a leader of the Cleveland Modernist movement, grew up in Cleveland and enrolled in the Western Reserve School of Design for Women in 1887. He started teaching at the Cleveland School of Art around 1903 and also taught private classes on a family-owned farm in Berlin Heights, Ohio, where even some of the Cleveland Secessionists, including Grace Kelly, learned from his instruction. In this painting, you can see his modern influences, including the Impressionist and Post-Impressionist brushstrokes, and the use of blue line as shadow on the tree and in the building. He doesn't completely cover the board that he is painting on, allowing the background to come through as part of the composition. On the other hand, Adamite is more conservative with his color use and more traditional with his shading. Adamite's A Country Road, Provincetown, painted about 8 years later than Henry Keller's painting, shows us more of a traditional approach to Impressionism. Adamite was born in Germany in 1879 and moved to Cleveland with his family at the age of 4. He won a 4-year scholarship to the Cleveland School of Art and became one of the founding members of the Cleveland Society of Artists. The next 2 paintings are by August F. Beely, titled Hillside in Berlin Heights from 1921 to 1922, and William Joseph Eastman's Green Poplars from about 1920. With these 2 paintings, you can see that August F. Beely, part of the Cleveland Secessionists, is fully embracing modernism and Fauvism, while at the same time, William Joseph Eastman is still exploring ideas of Impressionism. While attending Henry Keller's summer school in Berlin Heights, Ohio, Beely learned the expressive, bold color used for outline to define shapes and render shadows that characterize the painting. While many of the Cleveland Society of Artists use a more subdued color palette in their impressionistic paintings, here we can see Eastman exploring with bolder greens and brighter blues. These colors captured the landscapes that he would have seen on his travels to Europe. With another pair of paintings in the exhibitions, we can see the subject matter of mythology and allegory. Beely's Bacchanal scene from around 1920 references the ideas of Matisse. You can see hidden figures throughout the painting, with a larger figure going across the entire scene, as if passed out from having too much to drink. Perhaps all of the other figures are just a dream. Frank Wilcox's Ultima Thule from 1930 takes a more classic approach. Located beyond the borders of the known world, Ultima Thule was a land in Scandinavian mythology. In American art, Ultima Thule played a role in shaping the idea of the frontier and a utopian Arcadia. Painted in 1930, 1 year after the stock market crash, which caused the Great Depression, Wilcox's Ultima Thule presents us with figures at the peak of a precipice looking out over a vast ocean towards a far distant point. The allegory of America's continued search for utopia is clear, and for Wilcox seemed a distant but important goal. Frank Wilcox was born in Cleveland and graduated from the Cleveland School of Art in 1910. These works and others in the exhibition really highlight the struggle of ideas that was happening in the early 20th century in America, with influences from Europe and a strong sense to create their own American voice. These artists were extremely talented and show just how dedicated Cleveland was to the arts.
We're going to miss them, but looking forward to the upcoming exhibition. So I'd also like to mention that tonight we're also reintroducing ARTneo at the building, which is a nonprofit bar which is designed to and licensed to benefit ARTneo, the Museum of Northeast Ohio Art. So we're now, we've created two cafe areas in the building where folks can seat themselves, remove their facial covering, enjoy an adult beverage, and then replace their facial covering so they can move on to enjoy the great art here. So please join us for a cocktail sometime in the future. Now, oh, by the way, also around ARTneo in the lower level, we do have several other businesses open tonight, Googie style, with a great eclectic mix of home accessories and some terrific furnishings. Also the Byzantine, which has a similar but totally different array of accessories, and Yellow Cake Clothing Design, Valerie Mayen rocking her fashion designs and also her personal protective equipment, masks and various other items that she's created for the unfortunate pandemic. Also downstairs, we have some guest artists through North Coast Promotions, and we also have 4 or 5 guest artisans on the first floor with North Coast Promotions joining us tonight. But we also have a guest business at the bottom of our ramp level called New Milk Studios, which is a photo studio and gallery that's visiting us from Cuyahoga County, or Cuyahoga Falls, I beg your pardon. They've just opened recently, and they're here to make some new friends in Cleveland. So, New Milk.
Hi guys, I'm Jen. I'm from New Milk Studios. We're a photography studio learning center and gallery space in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. And we're so excited to be at 78th Street tonight for Third Friday. We're here promoting our Call for Artists. It will be our first exhibition. If you're not able to stop by, please stop by online at newmilkstudio.com. Thanks guys, have a great day.
Thank you, Jen, and welcome to Cleveland. Now let's head up to the second floor and visit the guys at RampArts, who have a terrific new exhibit, tons and tons of ceramics, beautiful embroidered paintings, and other stuff, terrific items for the holidays. Come on upstairs with me.
Welcome back to Third Friday at 78th Street Studios. My name is Randy Maxson. This is Julie Verdon. We're co-owners of RampArts Gallery. Tonight we're opening with our third annual ceramics exhibit. We're also showing new paintings by the fabulous painter Lizzie Ehrenholt. She's a wonderful artist out of Akron, Ohio.
As an avid collector of pottery and fine ceramics myself, I just want to say that this is a show you do not want to miss. We're featuring 15 artists, many of them new, up-and-coming artists. Some of our all-time favorites, Andrea LeBlanc, Michael High, and just to name a few. Super excited for this show this month.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm super thrilled with not only our friends that throw clay and make beautiful ceramics are involved, not the least of which Todd Leach and Stephanie Craig, but a lot of the people that we don't really get to see a lot here at 78th Street Studios. Angelica Pozzo is one of them. We couldn't be any happier to have her. Susan Gallagher, we couldn't be any more thrilled to have new work from her. And it's especially gratifying, the artists that made absolutely brand new, never before seen work anywhere. The work that you're going to see in this show from James Leslie is making its premiere here. It's not been anywhere else in Cleveland. That thrills us to no end. That's a very generous gesture by the artist. Just about everything in the show is absolutely brand new. So don't miss it. Lizzie Ehrenholt's work is all brand new. Everything that you see on the walls behind us is really indicative of the style that she's embracing right now. I love it. Her work has this like cell of Japanese animation, but it's so much more soulful than that. And many of the works that you're seeing have this textural three-dimensional quality because they do. Your eyes aren't deceiving you. In addition to the beautiful line and color work that she's so talented portraying, she's actually stitched yarn into the actual canvas itself, highlighting lines, creating new lines, and just drawing this complete three-dimensional, multi-textural portrait in each and every piece she does. People talk about energy on a canvas. She makes it look easy. The double piece at the end is probably my favorite. What can you say? We're so happy to have Lizzie's work here. All of the work that you see in the Ceramics Invitational, and then all of the work that you see on the walls by Lizzie Ehrenholt is available now, 3rd Friday, October, through the holidays. And in addition to the work that you see in the ceramics show and on the walls through Lizzie Ehrenholt, we will be adding for our holiday market those new works by our participating holiday artists. So it's really going to be a jam-packed gallery in here by mid-November, really, long before December. I'm excited.
Yeah, and just keep in mind too that you can check out our holiday hours on our Facebook page. You can find us at rampartscle.com, and you can also shop by private gallery appointment if you want a safe shopping experience. So we hope to see you soon in the gallery. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, Randy and Julie. Love what you guys do over there. Now let's pop across the hall to the Can Journal office, the Collective Arts Network office, and visit with Michael Gill, the editor. He's going to tell us a little bit about their upcoming benefit, which obviously is going to be a remote benefit, but it's built around a card game they've created. Well, Michael will tell you a little bit about it.
Hey there, I'm Michael Gill. I'm the publisher of Can Journal, which is Northeast Ohio's magazine about visual art. And our offices happen to be here at 78th Street Studios. We're on the orange hallway directly across from RampArts Gallery. And we're going to be here Friday night. We don't usually do shows, but we're going to be here to see people and talk to you and tell you about the card game. CARD stands for Cleveland Artists on Deck, and that is CAN's benefit event this year. So CAN is a nonprofit organization, and like all of them, we have to raise money to help keep us doing what we do, which is to communicate about art events all around Northeast Ohio through Can Journal. There's a nice springtime issue with a happy dog on the cover. Can Journal and our website, canjournal.org, and the weekly e-newsletter that Brittany Hudak puts together. Can Blog, which has a bunch of writers about art in Northeast Ohio. And of course, all of that is made beautiful by our designer, Joanne Dickey, who is also the overall designer for this deck of cards that I've been telling you about. So Cleveland Artists on Deck is based on a conventional deck of cards like you're familiar with, kings, queens, jacks, tens, and so on, and spades, clubs, hearts, and diamonds. But on the back of every card, there's a work by a different Cleveland artist. So Can's board of directors got together like starting in August, and all of them nominated like a list of 20 artists, and we pared it down, so they had 52 artists. Plus 2 jokers, so 54 artists in total. And the game is to identify who those artists are without having their name in your hand. So you do well if you're familiar with Cleveland art. If you go to the shows, if you go to a lot of galleries, if you know a lot of artists and you look at what they make, you'll be able to recognize artists by their work without knowing which artist made which work. So to help you along a little bit, you'll have a list of all the artists, but you'll have to match the names with who made what. And so as I said, this is a fundraiser for Can Journal. When you buy the benefit ticket package, you'll get a bottle of wine, some treats, and of course this beautiful deck of cards is the kind of centerpiece of it. And as soon as you get it, pickup is like Halloween weekend. As soon as you get the deck of cards, you can begin to play. You've got about 2 weeks to identify all those artists, and you return your answers to us on a score sheet that's provided by the 13th of November. And November 20th, we name the winners. November 20th is a Friday night, and that's when the winter issue of Can will come out at Framed Gallery over on Waterloo. And that's when we'll let people know who wins fabulous prizes for identifying the most artists in the card deck. So that's the scoop. I will be here, and some other folks from Can will be here at the Can office Friday night. So come by and see us, and you're going to want to get this deck of cards because we're limiting it to 100 players. So there's only 100 of these available, and you know it's going to become a collector's item because A, it'll be beautiful, and B, it's a collection of 54 Cleveland artists all in a snappy little box. So come by, say hello, and we hope to see you then.
Really fun competition and a terrific publication, to benefit a terrific publication. So let's mosey past Larry Waldman Fine Arts, who's also visiting with us tonight, and head over into HEDGE Gallery for the beautiful, very, very personal paintings of Sarah Curry. Hillary, would you like to talk to us?
Hi everyone, how are you this evening? I'm just going to remove this really quick since Zach and I are about 6 feet apart. I want to welcome you back to Third Fridays at 78th Street Studios, and thank you for joining us, whether you're virtual, live streaming with us, or safely gathered with us this evening. A big thanks goes out to all of our supporters who are here to check out local artists like Sarah Curry. HEDGE Gallery is thrilled to be opening a new exhibition of Sarah Curry's work, and we're going to show a little bit of that to you tonight. So come on in. Sarah Curry is a local artist. She and her husband live in Cleveland Heights, and she has been the arts educator at Rush High School for almost 20 years. So much of the work in this new exhibit titled Underestimated is about young women, young teenage girls that she encounters in many of her art classes. So as we kind of pan through the exhibit, you'll see that many of the paintings are wildly colorful. And these paintings, actually some of them that I'm standing in front of right now, represent that life of a young girl as she's kind of developing into a woman, but in that teenage stage, where emotions can be very wild, kind of understanding how to develop borders and boundaries, and also test their personalities. A lot of this work is about the relationships between the teenage girls, how they interact with each other, beauty standards, self-image, comparison, a lot of the struggles and the difficulties that these young girls deal with as they're growing up, and especially in high school. So this exhibition at HEDGE Gallery is actually a culmination of 3 different series of works that Sarah has been working on for the past 2.5 years. And the work that I'm standing in front of right now actually happened during the shutdown. Sarah began teaching at home in March when the pandemic hit, and she started talking to her students on a very personal basis about how they were feeling and dealing and coping with this shutdown and being at home. So the work behind me is all about that isolation that the students and probably a lot of us felt during that time period, where they're analyzing themselves very carefully now because they aren't in their peer groups. They're alone at home. So the work is about these individuals, and it's void of any details. So different from the work you just saw, that's very collaged and wildly colored and bright and vibrant. This work is actually flocked, which is really interesting. The background you'll see is a solid black, and when you get up close, you'll notice this flocking, which is almost like a soft velvet material, and it really creates that deep, deep void. So we're going to take you through these pieces in this room, and you can take in some of the other work as well. Thank you so much for spending time with us this evening. I'm so glad that you got to visit HEDGE Gallery and Sarah Curry's new exhibition. If you're interested in any of the work, all of it will be on our website live, I believe Monday or Tuesday next week. So you're able to check out every single piece that's in the exhibit if you can't meet with us here in person at the gallery. We'll also be hosting an artist talk on November 12th, and we will be releasing a virtual YouTube video talk with the artist as well. Again, if you're not able to join us here in person, we completely understand. So we at HEDGE Gallery are offering as many opportunities as possible to experience this incredible artwork via our website, hedgeartgallery.com, our Instagram and Facebook pages, or you can visit us during business hours. We're here Wednesday and Thursday 11 to 6, Fridays 11 to 5, and we'll be expanding some Saturday hours as we get closer to the holidays. So stay tuned, and thank you again.
Thanks, Hillary. Those pieces are just gorgeous. So if you care to walk with me a couple blocks west, we're going to head over to the west wing of the building, second floor, and visit the utterly indescribable Poetry Psychic Project.
Hello. My name is Dennis Michael Griesmer, and I'm the creator of the Poetry Psychic Project, which you can find in Studio 224 at West 78th Street. The Poetry Psychic Project is a performance, a piece of theater, where I ask the question, can you find your fortune in a random poem? Right now, I'm doing an open session virtually with a bunch of people who signed up in advance. But for those of you who are watching this live stream and didn't have the opportunity to sign up, I'm going to pick a poem for all of you to give you a small demonstration of how this works. In this box are a bunch of poems I have found and memorized over the past 3 years. And in this box are a series of brass coins, 1 coin for every poem. If I was doing a reading for you, I'd reach in here, I'd slide my hand around, and you would say, Dennis, take that one. And I would pull out the coin I was touching at that moment. 13. So we'd find 13 in the box, and I would give that to you if we were able to be together, or I would mail it to you if we were doing this virtually. And then I would perform the poem for you. 13 is a poem by Dan Albergati, Things to Do in the Belly of the Whale. Measure the room, count the ribs, notch the long days. Look up for blue sky through the spout to make small fires with the broken hulls of fishing boats. Practice smoke signals. Call old friends and listen for echoes of distant voices. Organize your calendar. Dream of the beach. Look both ways for the dim glow of light. Work on your reports. Review each of your life's 10 million choices. Endure moments of self-loathing. Look for the evidence of those before you. Destroy it. Try to be very still and listen for the sound of gears and moving water. Listen for the sound of your heart. Be thankful that you are here, swallowed with all hope, where you can rest and wait. Be nostalgic. Think of all the things you did and could have done. Remember, treading water in the center of the still night sea, your toes pointing again and again down, down into the black depths. If we were together, I'd ask you what phrase or words you most easily remember from the poem. And then we'd figure out together, why those words? Why this poem? Why this moment? There's more to coincidence than science or religion can imagine. Thanks for supporting Third Friday. Sorry you can't be here. If you want to learn more, send me an email at readings@poetrypsychicproject.com. Have a great evening.
Thanks, Dennis. So cool. Now let's head across the hall and drop in on the closing night of Ron Knight and Family, their collaborative exhibition.
Hello, my name is Ron Knight. We're here at Gallery 215. We're doing a retrospective of my artwork. My art is, as you can see, is a little bit different from everybody else's. I really try to invoke people to think and try to make them question the art themselves, where they're at, especially in these times that we're in, to push the boundaries on what is the art that you see. I typically don't do couch art, as you would say. It's more about not necessarily shock, but just getting a grasp on the pieces themselves and trying to see what you can see in them. This is a retrospective of my artwork, but also we're going to be including my wife and my 2 children, and then I'm blessed enough to have 6 grandkids that are going to have their art here as well. The piece right here it's called Dog, God spelled backwards. The piece itself, it kind of incorporates the American flag. We've brought pieces of God. So if you look at the D, O, and the G, they have Bible pictures on them. And then I wanted to take it and make it more of a dog, though. And so then I thought, well, I'm going to put a picket fence on it, and then I'll build a gate. And then I thought about, okay, I'm going to build this gate. So then if you switch the G and the D, and you made it God, then it became the pearly gates. So there's a lot of going on in the piece, and it's, if you look at it just one way, it's one thing, but if you have a tendency to look a different way, then you get that. This piece in particular has started all the basis of what you see at the show today. My son was in college, he came up to me and he said, "Dad, I want to join the armed forces. I want to join the Army. I want to help America." And I'm like, and I always told him that, you know, you can do what you need to do, and whatever you do it the very best you can. But I was pretty angst because I was raised in the Vietnam and the war, and it was my wife and I were both very, it hurt us a lot that he was going to go, and we were proud of him. But so I had this piece of metal at my house, and I painted it with spray paint, and then I took it over to my dad's house and we shot it with shotguns, slugs, 22s, 38s. We just shot and blew this thing up. And then I got discussions through work, and then I put little photographs, and then this is my son right here, and then all the other photographs are of war, but from wars long time ago. And I've just kind of built on that. I want to invoke thoughts and questions, and as this piece is called Eyes on America, and every piece, all discussions that are on here have eyeballs on it, or seeing something. So as you're looking at this, there's a lot of different scenes and stuff that are in here that maybe make the piece do something different from you than what I had thought. But the piece itself is you know, obviously you have the blood and the holes and stuff like that. But America's been down and out and put in holes and stuff in it. But we can still gather through this and have a piece of art up here that people can talk to and look at and question. So that's what I got.
Thanks, Ron. We've really enjoyed having you and your family here at the building. So now let's head up to the third floor for our last stop of the evening. We're going to head past Charmaine Spencer's studio, who was good enough to join us tonight with her incredibly monolithic found object and environmental sculptures. And we're going to head over to Survival Kit Gallery, where the Sonata 5 project is, I believe, having their closing night tonight. Ryan?
The Sonata No. 5 project combines classical music and fine art. Ryan Charles Raymer composed Sonata No. 5 for solo piano, and it was recorded by Leah Marie Frank. The recording was then given to 9 regional artists, who then, listening to it, responded with their paintings and drawings. When talking about the exhibition with Ryan, I was thinking about different artists that might respond best to this piece of music. It was a constant flow of sound. There were no rests or breaks or pauses. And to me, music is a very abstract thing. It doesn't exist in one idea. There's so many other components that go into it. And I wanted to make sure that the artists that I chose for this project were able to use their style and really embody the music. I had been following a number of these artists for quite a long time and really thought that I knew, based on their previous work, that together as an exhibition, the pieces that they produced would work well with one another. One of the concepts for the project was the idea of synesthesia, which is the concept of seeing colors or shapes when you hear sounds and music. While I don't believe any of these artists really saw colors and shapes, they all kind of gravitated toward a similar color palette. There's a lot of pinks, blues, and greens throughout the entire exhibition.
Thanks so much, Christopher. So I've got to apologize. While we were down on the first floor in Smart Space earlier this evening, I completely neglected to mention that Laurel Herbold and Cowtown Chad were here tonight, open, and Eric Rippert, showing his fantastic paintings. And also Susie Frazier was with us back in Earth-Minded Art in her own home studio for the first time tonight, selling her beautiful accessories and really cool art made out of natural materials. So glad to have all you guys here tonight once again, joining us for Third Friday. And so happy to have had you all here tonight. We really appreciate you being here. We really appreciate our live guests being here tonight. It was a terrific night, a comfortable and pretty safe crowd. Everyone has been respectful here. We're grateful for that. I think everyone, I'm not speaking out of school to say that everyone seems to feel safe and comfortable and is giving their neighbors a wide berth. But we're really thankful that you were able to join us tonight as well. There's a lot going on in the world right now. We all know that the state of Ohio has not had a good week. And we pray that all of you will stay safe and healthy, your families will stay safe and healthy. And we pray for our leaders here in town and nationally as well. There's an awful lot going on, and a lot of people with a great deal on the line in terms of keeping us safe and protecting us. So thank you all. I hope you don't mind the little personal note there. But please, again, stick with us through the holidays. Keep an eye on our social media portals and check out any special opportunities to come out and shop on a much smaller scale than you might be used to. We're keeping capacity in individual studios at maybe 5 or 6 folks. So there's lots of room to safely roam around, lots of sanitizer stations around, and we're keeping a close eye on things for your safety. Thanks again for joining us, even remotely. We're so happy to have you here, and we really look forward to the day that you'll be able to be here sipping a glass of wine with us personally. In the meantime, have a great month, have a great weekend, and take care. Bye-bye.